Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be working on a weed whacker. This weed whacker to be exact. So, it's set for a while. I didn't, well no, I did. I did all the stay-bill stuff and everything you're all supposed to do with them. And all that kind of good stuff. But I wasn't using enough. I had some stringer problems and I was being lazy and all this other stuff. And finally, it all just got gummed up, and well, now we're going to have to do a little rebuild on it. First thing we're going to do is put on some gloves here, and this will be one where you won't have to look at my ugly face so much. So that's a good thing. And put our gloves on. Boy, I'll be glad when these things are out. I can get some that aren't so darn tight. So where we're starting right now is we're starting with our trusty carb cleaner, and we're going to start with a screwdriver. And I've got the Echo rebuild kit. It's fairly simple to do all this. It's nothing you can't do at home. And basically, when one of these things won't start, this is what it generally comes down to, is that you just have some things that decide they're going to play games. And we're there. And so we're going to need some Torx bit. Okay, so we're back with the T25 Torx bit. We're just going to take this dude apart right here. And I believe this is the second time I've rebuilt this one. They're not hard to do. And like I said, when they don't start, it's usually either the carburetor or the plug. And it's just a simple matter of going through and just sometimes cleaning stuff up, and you pay a little attention how you took it apart, and you can put it back together the same way. So, 'tisn't rocket science, for sure. Come on now. If you have these kind of Torx bits, it might work a little faster in this situation. I didn't realize how long those screws were. That kind of makes sense. It does hold on to the carburetor. So, I'm going to take that screw out. Set it to the side. Take the other one out. Don't lose this little guy in the middle here. That seems important. All right, so we're going to disconnect that from that guy and that from that guy. We're going to set this guy back together right like so. I have no clue what that little metal piece does. But I suppose we're going to need to know when we put it back together, because that's the choke is what that is. Oh, okay. So see, air flows through there is what it looks like. All right. Does this not have an air filter? Oh, it does have an air filter, just not much of an air filter. That's okay. Well, that's kind of disturbing and good to know. All right, so now we're down to the carburetor here. And what we're going to be replacing is all these little hoses today. And if you do like I just did, make sure you know what you just did, because boy, that seems like that's broken. And that's going to be problematic if that's, look at that, that's broken. That may stop me right there, unfortunately, but we're going to keep going since we've got the pieces parts and we kind of know what we're doing. This is what we're having to rebuild. See how this ball just wore out over the years? They seem to do that. And I guess gas being what it is, and I generally run, I always make sure that I run ethanol gas and everything. So I try to make sure to take good care of that. And, you know, they say that's what you're supposed to do on these smaller motors is for best luck out of them. So that's what I tend to do. So we're going to disconnect this hose right here. This hose has already disconnected itself. Oh, boy, howdy. Like I said, I did this one time before, but man, that just is frustrating that that piece broke off. I'm hoping I'm still going to be able to make it work. I don't know. All right, so this has been an incredibly good little unit for what it is. And like everything else in life, you can't get the darn thing open. You're gonna try to cut that without cutting any of the crap inside, because boy, wouldn't that suck. And I guess here's directions on the back, maybe. I don't know. We don't need stinking directions. We're men living. We're men living. We're men living. Okay, so we have one thing that, quite frankly, I don't know what it is. Let's see. Does it say what it is? Is that for inside the gas cap, maybe? Yep, sure is. This actually comes with a, the kit comes with a new gasket for inside the gas cap. So that's kind of cool. All right, so you've got the part that goes down into the gas tank. This will be real easy to replace. We'll just have to pry out the old one, pry in the new one. And most of this is just, there you go. It's just coming apart. It's not in good shape at all. And, you know, that's what multiple heat cycles do to things. This is a very hard piece of plastic now. So we're going to set that aside for a minute. And then we're going to try this the right way. And then we have the you're coming out whether you like it or not way. So let's try the what should be the easy way. Come on out of there now. There we go. All right. And then we'll just get that guy up out of there. Kind of trying to avoid fuel smells today. I don't know why. Just, you know, seems like a thing to do today. All right. So set that aside so it stays clean. We're gonna give that a little wipey because why not? The ball valve or the ball thing over there. All right, so we're just gonna clean that up real quick. We're gonna drop this dude back through, okay? And that's your where the gas gets sucked up. It's kind of like a little filter. And then this is a return. And my dumb butt didn't pay attention to which one's which. So we're going to be flying by the seat of our pants, putting them back in. I'm going to guess that the clear one is the return. Yeah, the clear one's the return. That one's the suction. So I just got to know which is which when I put it back in the carburetor. Gee, that would have been smart. You know what? When you do this yourself, take a good look at what comes out of where so that you don't have to go look up some other person's YouTube video to get that fixed. And if that gives you too much trouble, just grab some kind of little lubricant. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You know, I got some 3-in-1 up here from other things that I clean. I think we're just going to put a little bit of that on there. Just run it around real quick. That should help get that down in the hole. And then we're going to say some bad things to it. Tell it we don't like it very much. Think about all the things my father wanted to say to stuff when he was working on it with me as a kid. Never did because, hey, he was just trying to not teach me those words at that age. All right, well, I'm going to be showing some words here in a minute. Dang it. What? Why? Why do you have to be so hard to get back in there? Look, you little echo. I'm trying to look like a YouTuber here. Not some little... This is how you absolutely destroy a brand new piece of rubber. By, you know, just shove it in a really sharp object, like a screwdriver. Because that's just brilliant. Ah, get in there. So close. Come on, you can do it. That's probably a copyright infringement. Really? 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 Okay, so we're going to put that like that. And we're going to shoot that in. And then we're going to shoot that in. We're going to push that in. We're going to push that in. Really? Well, we know it's going to have a nice tight seal. Good God. That just doesn't like it. That's really all there is to it, is it just doesn't want to go in there. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to push, and then we're going to push, and then we're going to tweak. All right, and I think that'll do it as long as we can get everything to where it needs to go. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, so we just got to remember that's the return. And then we're going to take this guy apart right here. This is a little itty bitty carburetor. Nothing of mass impressiveness. 4 bolts hold on this little bulb. Okay. Why do all the bolts have to be 3 feet long? I'll show you. As always, I have to say my disclaimer. I'm an idiot. Don't try this at home. If you do and you break something or blow yourself up or your children, well, it's not my fault. No, where? Seriously, I just lost a bolt. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I forgot that was magnetic. I just about panicked. All right, so I'm gonna take that off, take this off. And here we are back to the little ball. A lot of you, if you're doing this, you've probably seen this. Well, this is just the ball that you pump to build up the pressure. And this is what that one looked like when I first got it. And it's just, over time, they dry out, they get ugly, that kind of thing there. I'm going to put everything on hold for just a minute. I'm going to step out of the garage because I don't want to die. I'm going to blow this thing out a little bit with some carb cleaner. It's not dirty inside. It's incredibly clean, as a matter of fact, which I think goes to the kind of fuel that I use. And maybe the fact it's 2-stroke, who knows. But I'm going to just step outside real quick. I'm going to blow this thing out with some carburetor cleaner, and I'll be right back. Okay. So we're back, and hopefully by doing that outside to keep us from getting stoned out of our mind and a headache to boot. These carburetors are very cool in these. And I will say, for people that have looked at just replacing the carburetor, I've done that on my mower and I bought one off of Amazon. I got to tell you something, don't. If you're having carburetor problems on your mower, go buy the rebuild kit for it. Try it yourself. You really can't lose. There's enough videos out there that it makes sense to do it yourself. All right, so ball's back on. And if you're the kind of person that gets lost on things like I should have on this, snap pictures. I'm pretty sure that I know which way this needs to go, but you know, I'm not doing this so that you got to go look at 6 different videos to figure it out. But darn it, I'm going to have to go look at a video now to make sure that I got everything hooked up right. And that's just me making a mistake is what that is. Because as we know, this is going to go like so. But like I said, I think I'm going to be done there when I put this back together. I don't think that's going to stretch very well. Darn it. That's a little frustrating, to say the least. I was hoping to be able to use this thing this afternoon, but and I'm not going to try to glue that back together. I mean, that's probably a $5 piece or some garbage like that. So anyway, it's ready pretty much to go back on. I just got to hook up the gas lines here. And I believe the gas, oh, okay, they're clearly different sizes. See, the return line is right there. So that makes things easier to see. So we just pop the old return line on there. And give it a little shovey, and then the gas line goes on the smaller one right here. Nothing came with any hose clamps or anything, so I'm not skipping any parts here, but I definitely suggest try to just kind of shove that up as far as you can get it, you know. Probably better. And I don't know if I'd go laying a pair of pliers on it necessarily, but that just seems like a good way to tear up some fresh rubber. So, okay, so that's that way, that's that way. That's broken that way. That's just lovely. And then, so that's going to go on like that. Yeah, see, that's not, I can tell you right now, darn it, I bet that's been snapped for a while too. Ah, frustrating. Oh, well, sometimes these things happen, but that goes right back in there. And this will go right back in here. Get this started. Boy, howdy. I don't recommend power tools on this, but holy cow. So, give that a little snug right there. That might still work, but man, it ain't going to be pretty. No, I mean, for now, it seems to be working, but it definitely ain't going to be giving me everything I need. So, anyway, just a little quick look at this. You know, whenever you're looking at these, you always have to pull it down and pop it up in the middle ground for starting and stuff like that. So, take a look at that real fast when we put this back on. So all the way up is cold start, which blocks this off altogether if you don't understand. That gives it just straight fuel, not much air. And then once you get it running, it's there. And then in the, well, I guess it does let it get a little teeny bit of air through there. But when you're going to kind of start it, you know, and you got to fiddle with it a little bit right there, that's where you go. So, and we're check the filter out. The filter looks pretty good. We're going to put that back on there. And tighten that back up. That should be all there is to that. The gas cap just kind of pops out of there. It's got its own little dooflotchy. And hey, since we've got the new gasket, let's not be cheap. Let's just replace the old one. It's I think this Echo may be about, it's probably close to 14 years old, because I've been in the house about 14 years. And I bought it shortly after I moved in here. So, you know what? If you can get these kind of things to last that long, I think you're doing pretty good. So, I'll put that in there, get that worked around how it needs to be, which probably will take longer than anything else we did. Yeah, let's use sharp objects. That'll be fun. Okay. Yep, and right there it is. Cool. Slide this guy back in here. Test fit everything. And that all seems good. So I'm going to ignore looking at the spark plug, because that's the right thing to do. All right, so it's all put back together. It should run. There's no reason it really shouldn't. I've got some two-stroke oil over here that I believe is from probably the Clinton administration. So we're going to use that, because that should be just fine. And we're going to take this thing out, see if it starts. So let's go find out, shall we? Okay, so you're going to find out with me if this works. I can't even remember how to start this thing. It's been a while. So we're going to pump it up. Well, we got gas in the bowl. That's a good start. All right, cool. So let's make sure it's on. Then here we go. Stubborn much? Okay, so that's how we do it. I'm kind of impressed with myself. I always am when I do these things for some reason, and they almost always work. We're going to shut the garage door because I've got air conditioning. If you live in Florida and you have a window in your garage, I highly recommend the biggest air conditioner you can shove in the window and get away with. So let's talk about what we did real quick. As I said, all we did was, and you can get this for any weed whacker, that type of mower, string trimmer, edger, what else are they? I don't know. Trimmers, brush cutters, pruners, edgers, things in Spanish. Oh, that's a different language. My bad. Okay, so, and it was very simple. You saw how long this was. It didn't take very long to do. You know, I put down some newspaper and just took care of everything right there. I've been kind of putting this off because I've been lazy for a couple of days, if I'm being honest. And, well, no, I wish I hadn't. So, anyway, that's what there is to it. Please do me a favor. Hit the old subscribe button. Hit the like button. That goes a long way for a guy like me that's trying to build their channel. And I would love any comments or questions that you have. I'm no expert on these things. You know, I'm just a Florida man. But I would love to talk to you about it. If this is something you're thinking about doing, but you're a little hesitant because of this or that, give me a shout, shoot me a comment on there and we can chat about it and go from there. So thanks everybody. Have a great day. And if you're watching this on a weekend, I hope you have a great week coming up. Talk to everybody later.